So while you may like the stimulus package, you may think the stimulus is a good idea. Today I'm going to explain to you why the stimulus is a bad idea and in the long run is just another tax, a shadow tax, so that the government can steal from you. So, for example, here is Joe. Joe lives in the paper republic. Now we're going to go over the money that Joe has. So Joe's wealth is 23 paper monies, whereas the total wealth in the economy of the paper republic is 1,000 paper monies. In this case, Joe's wealth represents 2.3% of all spending value, whereas the paper republic holds on to 500 paper money out of 1,000. So we can clearly see that the paper republic has 50% of spending value. Now, for comparison to Joe, we have Steve. Steve may not work as hard as Joe or have as good a job as Joe, so he's got 7 paper money out of 1,000. So Steve has 0.7% of all the spending value. Now, the economy goes through rough times, and the paper republic graciously says to its citizens that it's going to pass a stimulus package to ease it up. So we go down here and we see this paper republic decides to give every citizen 10 paper money, boosting Joe up to 33 paper money and Steve to 17. They rejoice in the short term, but soon realize that in order to do that, the paper republic had to print more money, which added to the total money supply, bringing up the total amount of money in circulation to 2,000 paper money. Which, as we can see, Joe, smart as he is, can do the math to realize that his total spending power reduced from 2.3% to 1.65% of the total economy spending power. Steve, also pretty smart, can do the math, figure out that his total spending power rose by 0.15%. So essentially, the paper republic did a wealth transfer from Joe to Steve, stealing Joe's money, or not necessarily his money, stealing Joe's spending power and giving it to Steve. But hold up, the paper republic's smart too. Before they issue this spending bill, they realize that they would go from 50% to 25%. Now, the paper republic, being a government, doesn't want to lose any of its money. So they revise their stimulus package to go ahead and add $2,000 to circulation, bringing up the total money supply to $3,000, which then if we do the math again, Joe loses out even harder, losing over half of his spending value, and Steve loses spending value too. Whereas the paper republic, of course, keeps a good chunk of that for himself, saying it costs money to make money, and they remain at 50%. Well, where did all the extra spending power go? Well, of course, it went to other citizens of the paper republic who made even less than Steve. But what's stopping the paper republic from keeping even more of that, or doing it again and again, and lowering the value of their spending ability repeatedly? If we compare this to the stimulus package that we received a few months ago and they're trying to do again, all it did is lower the value of your dollar. You may have liked it in the short term, but overall, all it is going to do is ruin your ability to save and your spending power.